Good afternoon. Today we're going to be changing out the actuator door on the passenger side of a 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Unfortunately, these year models tend to develop a clicking noise, and when you cut the vehicle off, you hear this sound. This sound is caused by that actuator door motor, and that is what we're going to be replacing today. What we will need is a 1/4 inch ratchet, a 7/32 socket, I call it a rivet tool, not sure what the real name for it is, and then of course your replacement part, OEM replacement part. And there is your part number. All right, so first step is going to be to take the glove compartment out. You have two tabs, one on each side, that will have to be compressed. These are not easily accomplished. They are rough on your fingers, but you will press them inward. Push it back as you do that. Will make it a lot easier. So both of these will go in and it will come out. But before you do that, there is a piece here that allows the door to slowly lower when you open it. We're going to take that out. Just going to slide it down and then pop it out. And just let it retract there. It will be there later for us. Now that that is out of the way, we will press these sides in and lower the door down. Okay, now that that's lowered, you are just going to let it hang at the lowest position there and pop these little slides out. There it is. And here's your glove box. Okay, now as you see, we have a black panel here to protect everything. You have 3 of these pressed in plastic rivets, one at the bottom there, one here next to the light, and then another on this side. These are very simply taken out. This tool that I have is very much makes it a lot easier. I'll put it that way. You can use a flathead screwdriver, but this tool makes it so much easier. First thing you're going to do is you're going to push in the little button in the middle. Then you will use this pry tool to pop the rivet out. We will then do the same for the other 2. And there we are. You will then need to unplug the light here. There is just a tab on this white piece. Just pinch that in and pull it out. There There's that. And then you have your black cover loose. I'm going to go ahead and take these rivets out, save them for later. We're actually going to take them apart too, because you will have to have them apart before you put them back in. And to do that, I'm just going to pull here, just kind of wiggle it back and forth. Don't force it. And there it goes. And you have both pieces. All right, and now we have access inside here. This is where your cabin air filter is, as well as the intake for that actuator, where that actuator covers. We're not hearing the sound right now, so I'm going to cut this on to the run mode so that we can see in action what is causing that clicking noise. All right, now I'm going to cut it off, and we should hear that door trying to move. Yep. So that is where your sound is coming from, and no, this is not normal. The motor is the issue. It is on this side over here. It's too dark to see. I'll have to turn my light on here in a second. But that motor is your issue, and that is the part that we have ordered. Okay, so now that I have my light on, let's get over here. You can see right there with that little blue speck, that is the motor that we are needing to replace. It is not functioning properly and causing that door to sit there and flap like it is. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this filter access cover. There are 2 tabs on each side. This is also where your cabin air filter is. These tabs just kind of pry outward, and then as you pry outward, you loosen it up, pop it out. Same thing on the other side. And there is that. This is your cabin air filter. The manufacturer will have all the information. I recently replaced mine. This is a replacement already. Now that that's out of the way, it'll make it a little easier for our hand to get in here. And this is the ratchet you will use, a 1/4 inch drive, and the 7/32 socket. Again, 1/4 inch drive, you want as small as you can get because you are going to be in a tight spot with this tool. All right, so this is the area. Again, this is kind of a tight fit. Someone with large hands is going to be hard to do. Luckily, I'm not quite that big, so I'm going to take this 1/4 inch drive and do this. Now, there are 3 points. 3 points of contact. However, there are only 2 screws, and we are going to loosen those out. We'll come out that way, but first we need to look at the electrical and disconnect it. This is what it looks like where it is plugged in at. I am just going to take a still shot here and then remove it, as I can't get my hand and the camera in here, and I will show you how it comes out. Okay, so I have the electrical unhooked. Here it is, disconnected, and there is a tab. Let me get situated here. Just here, and if you press it in, it releases the hold it has on that part. So I'm trying to get here. Just here at the top. If you press it down, it will release that plastic holder piece. So as you press that down, you will pull it out. Be careful not to pull by the wire. You don't want to mess this up. Now, for this next part, we are going to loosen the screws and get this old piece out. Again, I'm not going to be able to film this as it is a very tight fit. It's actually the hardest part of the job. is getting your hand wiggled in here and getting these things loose. There are 3 points, but 2 screws. So the bottom right there is a screw, and the top left, as you see, and then the bottom left has nothing in it. We are going to loosen those up. Be very careful not to drop these screws. All right, so got it out. This is a booger to get out. Here it is. There is the blue stripe indicating that is the original from the manufacturer. And this is the part we are going to replace. Here are the screws, the 2 screws that we took out. All right, and here is our new part along with our old part. So again, this is our old part with the blue stripe. This is our new one that I've already taken out of the package. As you can see, they are identical. Make sure you order that right part. And again, to tell them apart, you have the blue stripe there. That means it came from the manufacturer. But we have ordered a Mopar OEM part to replace it. Okay, so we are going to get this new piece in. It is going to go back in just like that, where your electrical plug is facing outward. It'll actually be angled down a little bit. Again, you have 2 points that you're going to screw in, the top left and the bottom right. This one on the bottom left is not used. There's no screw there. Okay, so I'm going to do this without filming again. Can't get the camera in there. I am going to just get it set first, but this is the ratchet I'm going to use. Get it set and then show you. Okay, so I just have it in place here. No screws in yet. It's very important that you get this gear lined up correctly. You do not want to force it. You need to make sure it lines up with the piece in the screw holes. Okay, so I have it hand tightened. Just started those screws with my hand. Again, be careful not to lose these screws. Just got them started with my hand, and now I'm going to get the ratchet in here and tighten these screws up. That is what it should look like. Okay, now both screws have been tightened. It is in the correct place, and this is what it should look like prior to plugging that power back in, and that's what we're going to do now. It should just pop right in. Make sure that a clip is facing towards the outside of the vehicle, just like you pulled it out. And you hear that nice little click. Let us know it is in there. And it's not doing anything right now, so let's cut the vehicle back into the run mode and then cut it off to make sure that we are good. Let's cut that off, and this is where we would normally hear our clicking sound, but as you can hear, nothing. That door is in the open position as it should be, and it is not popping up and down like it was before. This is what we want. Now it's just a matter of putting it back together. I'm going to start with the filter cover. Goes on just like it came off. I always start on the left side there, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Just press that in until it snaps, both sides. There's that. And again, this is a good time to replace that filter if yours is not looking too good there. Then we're going to take our black panel and we are going to put it back in. First, we're going to plug in our light. Same way it came out. It will click in. Just like that. And then you're going to get this in place. Now, when you put this back in, make sure that that wire for that light goes up. There's a little hole there that kind of fits in. Just don't want that pressing down on the black piece. And then there's a notch down here at the bottom. Just make sure that that little piece goes into that notch. It helps hold it in place. Now we're going to put our rivets back in. With these, you are just going to kind of pinch these black pieces inward as you push them in the holes. This is actually quite easy. It's just not too easy while you're holding a camera. But these just pop right in after you pinch those in just a little bit. Now, once you have these three in place, you're going to take the pin that you pulled out earlier, take that pointed end of it, point it down, and then push that in the center there. It's going to lock these in until it clicks. All right, once you have that all three rivets in place, you're going to take your glove box. It's going to go right back in the way it came. Angle it downward, get these to fall in place. And once they're in place, you are ready to go up with that. We're going to reattach our piece that allows it to open slowly and not slam down. Should just be right there where it retracted to. Slide that back in the notch and slide it in to lock it in place. All right, now we're just ready to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to push these inward as we push the drawer back. Be careful not to break the tabs on these. You don't want these broke. That would not be good. So you're going to just push them in and push back on the door as you do that. And there we are. And as you can see, it slowly lowers, so we know it's working properly. Shut that, open it again. Awesome. And there you have it. We replaced it. No more clicking. Good to go.